Hello everyone, welcome back to the Phone Museum. Today, we are looking Duchin F22 Pro. This one, the main selling point, I believe, is 3x4 keypad. And let's see from the outside. So when you look at the outside, top here, there's the little earpiece, and also this one works as a media play sound speaker as well. It doesn't mean it's like stereo speaker. It is a mono speaker. There's no extra speaker on the bottom or on the back. And from the next to the speaker, there's a proximity sensor and a ambient light sensor. And at the bottom, this is same size as iPhone 4 or 4S, 3.54 inch, and same resolution, 960 by 640 display. And compared to the previous model, F21 Pro, it has 2.8 inch with 640 by 480. So both size and resolution increase a lot. And under the screen, there's a like hard to see these days. Even home button does not exist these days smartphone, but now there's like so many buttons. So at the bottom, there's some weird shape. This one is work as a home button or menu button, depends on the situation. And there's a back button, and also this work as a multitasking button as well. And there's a phone button, and there's a power or lock, or what was that, the home button as well. I will talk about it later. And there's a 3x4 the little keypad, and there's a like 4 direction key and the center key as well. And you realize what's this round thing next to the pound key. And usually when I talk about the smartphone, there's a front face camera at the top, but this one is similar to the previous model. Somehow they decided to put in the bottom. And the funny thing is, on the top there's enough bezel so you can put the camera model, but they still decide to put in here. Okay. So what's the problem with the camera down here? The first, when you take a selfie like this, then it doesn't look that good. So you need to take selfie like this. Oh, and also, if you doing the video chat, you don't want to like video chat with not really appealing face kind of stuff. So you need to do video chat like this. But the problem is, when we usually do the video chat, then we usually look at the face. That means face is usually, even screen is long, you're looking at on the top area. So the distance between the camera and your eye is not that far away. But this one displays bottom of the keyboard. If you put it upside down, then you're looking down. So it's very uncomfortable to use front face camera for the either video or take a selfie. So I don't know why they put there. You like the technology, then there's a BlackBerry. They used to have a bunch of quality keyboard, and some BlackBerry they have the little touch panel like a BlackBerry Pre or Key 1, Key 2, and I believe the BlackBerry Passport as well. So I wish they put those kind of little touch sensor under the keypad so we can use as a scrolling or whatever. But this one does not do that. And also, I wish they put the little fingerprint sensor down here. So I can just turn on the phone and unlock it immediately. I don't have to write pin pad or whatever. I know this is compared to other phones, is pretty cheap phone, but even though there's cheaper smartphone has like a Xiaomi or other manufacturer has like fingerprint sensor as well. So if they put the fingerprint sensor, that would be very nice touch. And when I use this phone, I remap the key for this little home-ish menu button and this enter button or OK button, whatever. So I will talk about it in detail in later. And also this one, you can customize. So long press to turn the flashlight or go to certain app or call someone, those kind of stuff. But for the star and a pound key, you cannot put anything on the pound key, and for the star is set as a music player. I don't know why, but they decided to do that. So I will do a little demo. So for example, press and hold, go to the music player, and I set number 2 as camera app. So when I click it, it's automatically turn the camera app. And for number 3, I turn the flashlight. So there's a flashlight and I can turn up. So those are like key. And for this one, of course, when you press, it's go to the recent call. And you can press one more time to call back, or you can press and hold to go to the keypad, but you can just type and start writing keypad. So there's an option. This one, just a single button to turn up the screen, press and hold to power off, or if you're in the like different app, this one is work as the home key as well. And in the home screen, you can use this button to navigate the page. Of course, you can navigate with this little key as well. And press and hold for the recent app button to see press and hold for the back key to see all the recent app. And oops, I keep forget because I used to using this one as a home keys, but when it's in home screen, it work as a power key, so it's kind of confusing, but it is what it is. And this one, if you go into the apps like internet, this one work as like little menu button, or in their own apps, for example, like a weather, then they're showing there's a menu, so I can click as a menu as well. And I say I customize a little bit, so when I press and hold, I can see which input method I can use, because especially English is really hard to type. This one have a T9, the prediction thingy, but it's not so good. So I prefer writing in the keypad, so I can switch keypad immediately. That's why I set up like that. And also if you write the thing in the T9, let's say, oh my, oh okay, like this, I can just double tap. Doesn't work well. So I type, then this one I have to click this one to send a message, but I don't want to touch the screen sometimes, you know, it's right here and it's kind of lazy to go up there. I know it's not that much, but sometimes it's lazy, so I can just double tap to send a message. That's what I customized. And let's finish up for the outside. On the top, there's secondary mic and IR LED to using as a remote. And there's a volume button. The previous version does not have a volume button. You have to using number 2 long press to volume up and long press 8 for the volume down, those kind of stuff. And on the bottom, there's a USB Type-C and a mic. On the left, there's a nano SIM card. This one does not have a dual SIM version. Also does not support any SD card, micro SD card. And on the back, there's a 8 megapixel autofocus camera and LED. And there's a red ring, but this color is kind of a little like toy-ish. I wish they put like metallic finish. Doesn't mean like they have to using the metal, but even plastic they can use like metallic look kind of stuff. I wish they use that one. That would be looks better, I believe. And there's a Dochin logo, and it's a Chin AI life. And there's a little bit of some Chinese word which I cannot read. And since screen is pretty small, but it looks pretty tall, so let's compare the size. So first let's compare with Galaxy S8. Then it's about like this. So S8 Plus, by the way, this one is like 6.2 inch or 6.3 inch, but because of the keypad it looks almost, the height is almost similar. It's not big difference, but it's much narrower. Then let's go with the similar size, and let's check with the iPhone SE 3rd gen. It's not 3rd gen, but size is about same with this is 6S. But if you see, this is taller, but when you see it, much narrower. And if you know this size is same as iPhone 4S. Right now I don't have iPhone 4S, but I have a same width with iPhone 4S, which is iPod Touch 7th gen, and you can see it's about same, but of course this is gonna be much taller. So how is it using this one in right now? Let's talk about the screen first. So screen is definitely small for right now. Even when iPhone 4S came out, like in 2011, even at that time, the 3:2 ratio iPhone 4S, if you're watching the 16:9 ratio video, then it's only 3.2 inch. So even that time, compared to Galaxy S2 HD or Galaxy Note, the screen was way smaller. And many people complain about that, and that's one of the biggest bad thing of the iPhone 4S at the time, even at that time. But now, many YouTubers, they making video in 18:9 ratio because of the full screen display these days. So watching this one in 18:9 ratio, screen is way too small. So when I'm using this one for like 3 months, I watching YouTube mostly on my tablet. And to turn on this phone, there's a few ways to turn on. Either you click this weird looking home button, or you can click the back button, or you can click the power key, or you can click this OK or enter key. But other key, it doesn't work. Like so. So yeah. And this one does not support like double tap to wake up, those kind of stuff. And this one supports the lift to turn on the screen, but I turn it off because the sensor is way too sensitive. So even I don't mean to try to wake it up, and it's just wake up and drain the battery, and I just don't like it. And if you get the notification, of course you can see the notification at the lock screen, and also you can change the setting for the hide the notification or don't show the notification and those kind of stuff. But most of Android phone, if you get the notification, you can expand and do interact with the notification even in the lock screen. But this one, you can't. There's an arrow. I click it, it's just jumping up. I try to expand, it doesn't do it. I cannot interact with the notification at all. And also, when I listening music or something, I usually using this music player, but let's go with their default music player. And for the copyright, let's mute it. And right now I'm listening music, and I want to change the music or interact with it, but I can't. The funny thing is, all the notification is gone, nothing show up. Even music player, I cannot switch. Is there a widget? No. I just cannot do anything. And to unlock it, you can swipe up and type the pin here or type the pin here. Or if you're the setup as a pattern, then you can write the pattern. But this one does not support the password. Also, if you put in the pin, then you can just, in this screen, you don't have to swipe up, or you can click the this one to go up. You just click the pin number to unlock your phone as well. After you unlock, you can see the home screen. And this home screen is unlike other like phones, and most of Chinese phones do that, and iPhone as well. They rather just put all the icon on the home screen and there's no additional app drawer. I'm not a big fan of lack of app drawer, but it is what it is. And at the first page, I know it's second, but let's call it first page. I will tell it in the later. You can add all the way up to 4 icons. You cannot add more icons on the top. Reason is, if I try to go up, I can make a folder here or do that, but I cannot put icon up here. No, it says no rooms. And because of thing is this clock widget. This clock widget, I think, is it up the 4x3. And I try to remove, but I can't. You hear the beep and it's vibrate a little bit, but I cannot move. I cannot remove, or it just stay there. So yeah. And on the left, this is like a widget or whatever those page, but the search is not available. WeChat or Alipay, those are in like Chinese. The pay system and chat, social media, which is I didn't install it. That's why is have an error. So this page is kind of pointless. And to interact this home screen, as I said before, you can interact with all the buttons. I don't know why, but sometimes these buttons work as 2 times. I don't know. And also you can use this keypad to click or those kind of stuff. And to add widget, this one, it doesn't have like anything like I cannot press and hold for the this area to go to setting, nothing like that. To add widget, for example, I want to add cloud widget, press and hold, and there's a widget setting. And of course you can access with a key, but to put the widget, I have to press and hold and put the widget. Because this widget is not support the key, so I can click, yeah, it doesn't work, so you have to press and hold and do that. And to change the size, of course you cannot do it with the keypad, so you have to use your finger to change the size. And for the Google Calendar, for example, I put the Google Calendar widget here, but if you put the widget for that one, you cannot resize. It doesn't give me allowed to resize it. Then how I do that? So there's a little trick, the resolution setting, because this is low resolution compared to this smartphone. So they give us this option which make everything is so small. Then you can now change the size. I don't know why, but it's a little trick, I guess. You can remove, and let's go back to the standard. I keep, yeah, if it's not home screen, I always think this as a home key, but it doesn't work in the recent app button, and I keep forgetting. Sorry. And before I go furthermore, I just want to mention that this is Chinese only model, so it doesn't support Google Play service, which means no Google Play Store. And sometimes the seller, they install their custom firmware to you can access to a Google Play Store and service, but this one is like stock ROM. So as a like Hisense A5 or other Chinese smartphone I usually use this Aurora Store, so you can install and update your apps and stuff. But this phone somehow it doesn't work. When I try to download the app, it's give me an error message, and it's take quite a time to load as well. I don't know why. Finally, it opens. Oh, let's try to download Chrome. When I click the install, then it said there are problem parsing the package, and this I thought it's maybe it's just Aurora Store. So I try other third-party store like APK Pure or One Store, doesn't work. So what I did is I download the APK file every single time and I install it. And for update, I check the update through the Aurora Store because it still give me the update. Even now I have like 4 updates. And then I go to the APK, to download the newer version of APK and install it. So it's a lot of hassle. And of course, those Google apps like YouTube doesn't work. Google Maps, kind of ish work, but not perfectly. That's why I make a little Firefox shortcut for the Google apps, like Maps. Yeah, so those are like little problem because of the does not support Google service. So if you want to using this phone as a main phone, maybe it's a good option to buy the custom ROM version as well. And of course, this is like Chinese model. So when you go to the settings, there's only, you can see only Chinese and English. I think that's Cantonese and that's a Mandarin. So if you want to use different language, you can using the ADB and using the more local to change whatever language you want to use. And now let's see this notification bar. So the one problem with the notification bar is I cannot interact notification bar with keyboard. There's no key is go to the notification. So you have to swipe down using the screen. And even inside, you cannot use keypad to interact the notification bar. And also for this toggle, you cannot add like third-party toggle. So that's one bad thing. And when you go to the setting, it looks pretty similar to the stock Android. The icons are a little different, but the menu things are pretty similar. And you can see Android version 12. And the build number is 1.1.1. The first time I opened it, it was a 1.0.1, and then it's updated right away to 1.1.0. And then in 2023, around January, I got update 1.1.1. So at least they keep updating. Maybe you can expect for the Android update, but they're updating phone for optimization or other reasons. So how was it right now when I'm using this phone for 3 months? First, when I'm using this one as a main phone for 3 months, I increased a lot of time using my tablet to either like doing the web search or watching YouTube, anything much better, bigger screen, better. And when I type, the stock, the T9 keyboard is so bad. So I have to download third-party keyboard and write the keypad and the touch screen, so even smaller screen. So it was a little pain. And during the winter, because right now is you can see it's February, it's winter. So when you go out, this year winter was quite warmer than usual, but still you wearing the glove. This is a smartphone, the touch sensor is much better. So even using the glove you can interact a little bit, and some glove you can actually touch some stuff, but it's not perfect. So when I'm using camera, I expect to using the glove, there's a button, so I expect to have a better camera, but camera is, and when I heard 8 megapixel, and look at the size, it's nice and tiny. So I should know by the size and megapixels. I know megapixel doesn't mean anything, but these 8 megapixels, even front face camera have a 12 megapixels, so it's pretty small one. So how's the picture? When you take a picture, look at the back sky. It's nice and beautiful, but the object I want to capture as well was the tree, but the tree is like black out. And when it goes to dark, there's too much noise going on, and does not have OIS, so of course it's easy to get shaked picture even you try to get as stable as possible, because it's a phone camera. You don't want to use the tripod. I mean, some people do that, but I don't have tripod with me all the time, and I want the picture right away. So that's one bad thing. And maybe this is like my biased thought, but most of the like those like not good smartphone camera have a wider angle for the regular camera compared to the other Galaxy or iPhone. And so the angles are pretty wide compared to Galaxy or iPhone. And when you go to the default camera app, in the setting there's a ZSD. I was wondering what is that, and I searched internet. It was a zero shutter lag delay. But either I turn on or off, there's no big delay, so that's good. So for the camera, I think I can just give a barely pass, like 60. And now talk about the speaker. How's the speaker? So speaker, I said before, this one using both phone call and a media speaker. So the sound coming out from the front is better than from the bottom or from the back, but this is mono speaker, it's not stereo speaker these days, and the sound quality is not so good. The bass is very weak, and when you put on the full volume, its sound is a little very not a good sound. And also, this one doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack. So when I'm using the Bluetooth headphone, I usually put the volume 2 is way weak, but volume 3 is way loud. I wish they were like 2.5 or whatever, but yeah, so the volume level is very uncomfortable as well. So the speaker, this one barely passed, like I can give it like 60. So before we move on, let's listen the speaker quality. Yeah, so as you heard, speaker quality not so great, not too impressed. Now I will talk about the battery life. So how's the battery life? So in my usage, battery life was around 6 hour, 6 hour and a half to 7 hour ish, and prediction is said is around 7 hour and 24 minutes, and this prediction can change depends on my usage. And my battery usage pattern is like I try to charge when battery is like 40%. Right now it's 40%, and it's already turned on the battery safe mode right now, so I can remind myself to charge my battery. And when it's 80%, it's give me a notification that it's all the way up to 80%. But sometimes you have to charge overnight, so it's become 100%. And sometimes you don't have charger and it's go all the way down to 20% or 10%. So it depends on my usage, but I try to charge up at 40% and all the way up to 80%. Anyways, in my usage, so I actually try to fully charge and use all the way down to the 1%. And at the time, I can use 40 hour and 40 minute. And for screen on time is 6 hour and around 50 minutes. So battery life is pretty good. Then what about the charging? So this one have a 2150 milliamps battery, and it charge all the way up to 10 watt. In this charging, it say around like 1 hour and 25 minutes. So when you look into a graph, from 0 to 80% is every 10 minutes it charge up around 13 to 14% of the battery, and 80 to 90% is every 10 minutes is go up to 10%, and over 90% every 10 minutes it charge around 6%. So yeah, so it's around hour and a half is fully charged. So for the battery life, I can give like 80 out of 100. So it was pretty good. And now let's look at the screen. So this one I told you before, 3.5 inch, 960 by 640. Resolution looks low, but since screen size is smaller, so pixel density is not as bad as what you think. So same pixel density is even 2023. There's iPhone SE 3rd gen, and even like just last year they still selling the iPhone 11. It have a same pixel density, so you don't have to worry too much. The problem is this screen is too small to use these days, and of course this one is LCD, not AMOLED, and also it doesn't show like P3 wide color gamut. So that might be a little problem if you're really into the screen and stuff, but me, I don't really look at the like really detailed picture in like this small screen. So for screen, to me, it was okay. And iPhone 5 series and 6 series have a like getting yellow tint screen problem at the edge, but this one does not have those problem yet. Maybe happen in 2 years, but we don't know yet. But other problem is the ambient light sensor. So I'm really grateful they put the ambient light sensor, but it works well when I go to the bright area to dark area. It will dim the screen, but when I go to a dark area to little bright area, then it just turn on all the way up to like 100%. I don't need 100% brightness. I need maybe 50%, but it just put all the way up to 100% so often. So that was a not that useful. And you can change the brightness from here, and you can see there's a little icon is changing. Right now there's nothing there. A little bit higher than 33%, it changed to half. Higher than 67% is full. I really like those kind of little detail animations. It is similar to the like One UI 1 from Samsung, something like this. There's a little icon, it's moving and it's getting bigger, like those kind of stuff. I really like those tiny little animation. Yeah, anyways, so for the screen, I can say is like 70 out of 100, because screen quality is okay. I don't see any like this is too red but downside is too red, yellow, like I don't see like those kind of stuff. But for this small screen, I think it's pretty good enough. And Now I will talk about the performance. And for the performance, I make a separate video for in-depth, so you can check that video if you want. And this one I will just go over briefly because it's already pretty long video than I expect. For this one, they're using MediaTek Helio G85. This AP is compared to the last year model, the F21 Pro, it's much better because previously they're using Helio A22 and that one is like Cortex A53 quad core, so it's pretty slow CPU. But now this one is using Helio G85, which is similar performance as Galaxy S7. So that's one of the reasons I bought this one over F21 Pro. Also, this one, the screen resolution is way lower than Galaxy S7, which has QHD, and this one is like only 17% of QHD. So this performance is more than enough. And it has a 4GB RAM. And this one doesn't have many things on the background and stuff, so 4GB RAM is more than enough. And the one thing I realized was the optimization. So I think this is a performance problem because sometimes when I turn on, go home, then it shows the home screen, right? But sometimes like once a week or once every 2 weeks, when I try to unlock it, then it just show the wallpaper and it doesn't show any icons or widgets. I have to wait for like 20-30 seconds. So that one can improve in the future software update. And so for the performance, I can give like 80 out of 100. And you can think like 80? You just say the performance is same as Galaxy S7. How can give you 80? But the reason I give 80 is for like this small phone, you're not gonna play game like this because of this one is uncomfortable to hold. So for this phone, for this usage, I think this Galaxy S7, the performance is more than enough. It sounds like they put the like a small mini car with the like better engine than what they have. So yeah, I think this performance is way good enough in this form factor. So overall, if you try to cut some social media, watching YouTube or searching internet and stuff, and you don't have other tablet or something, then maybe this one is good option. You can do minimum social media with the texting and stuff, but it's uncomfortable to the search or watching video or play games. So those people, maybe this one maybe the option, but other than that, hard to recommend because sometimes it doesn't give me the notification even I put in the battery, and as you can see there's nothing on the click. I always say unrestrict, but somehow it's just unchecked and doesn't give me the notification. And also I just put into the background application, I put this one so Messenger app can run in background but doesn't give me a notification sometimes. So, and also a GPS problem, this one have very inaccurate GPS and very weak signal, so it's hard to using as a navigation as well. Those problem I will talk in detail in the settings episode, so you can check that video. Yeah, also this one does not have Google service, so if you're using like Google ecosystem, then definitely this one is not work for you. Even YouTube doesn't work like that. So yeah, so if you wanna try to cut down some social media, YouTube or internet surfing or gaming, I cannot recommend this one. Especially like English, it's hard to type with this keypad. It's better with the QWERTY keypad like a BlackBerry. So yeah, so this was interesting smartphone. That's it for today's video, and thank you for watching, and hopefully see you in the next video.